Today we do a heater fan upgrade on the S30.
This is a journey into Chad Custom.
This is a journey into Chad Custom.
Fans come from Leinster. So anyone knows who owns an S30 that the heater fan wouldn't blow the dust off your nana's doilies. So I bought this quite a while ago from an eBay seller. I believe it's from a mid-90s Honda Civic, and apparently they're a direct bolt-in. Just got to wire the plug up. So I'll show you through it. So we're under the dash, under the glove box. We've got this little parcel shelf, big enough to hold your maps or whatever, map parcel shelf. Got to undo some screws here, and hopefully that'll be enough to get the heater fan out. So hang on. So it's a good idea to have a little bucket or something to put your screws in so you don't lose them. I just happen to have one that says Nissan. Anyway, let's get these screws out. I'll get in there. There's one. Try not to drop it on the camera. So that's that. Let's have a look up here. Alright. Okay. Could be a little bit difficult to get out with the air conditioner line in the way, but let's see how we go here. Looks like it's missing the bottom screw already. One day I'm going to hook the air conditioning back up. It hasn't got it at the moment. It would be nice for the hot Australian summers. It's coming. It's finger tight now. Alright, can we get the top one? It's a bit more difficult. Can we see it now? There it is. It's not easy. I made a right angle screwdriver. Might have to take the glove box out, so we'll do that. Shout out to Harman Race Engineering. One day they hopefully build me a nice motor. Just taking the actual glove box itself out now. Why? Just hang on, why am I using a manual screwdriver? Just better. Look at that. Doesn't even work. Well, that's useless. Oh, that one's stripped. I wonder where it'll come out now. Maybe. Something stopping it. Just to show you the difference, this is the factory. This is the Honda one. See the difference in size? Massive. And one moment. Then you've got the fan speed itself. That's the factory, and this that's the Honda one. So it should make a lot of difference. Another thing I note, these rubber seals I think are going to have to come out, because this has its own rubber seal, and this one here doesn't, and this one here has spaces to compensate for the rubber seal. But what I note is the actual fan width is longer on the factory one, and I think that's why they spaced it out. So this one isn't as wide, so hopefully it'll go in without fouling, and I'll take those seals out. Otherwise I don't think it's going to work properly. Okay. Next thing I found is the diameter of the fan is larger than the hole, so I'm going to have to cut it out somehow. So I had to pull the fan shroud out. Wasn't easy. A few bolts, if you look at it that way. There's one here, one there, so one there, a screw on top, a screw underneath where it goes into the plastic thing, and another bolt on the back. That one was quite hard to get at, and another one underneath at the back. That one wasn't too bad to get at. I had to get a little short stumpy ratchet ring spanner onto that one, but I got it out. This is the fan. It's too big, won't go in the hole, so I'm going to have to put it on there. I'll trace around it and then I'll make that hole bigger. But the bolt holes for the fan motor, they all line up. Doesn't matter where I point the camera, it seems to be glaring off of something. I'm in the middle of making my shed bigger, taking out some walls and getting rid of a whole lot of crap that I don't need. I'm sick of having a mess. That wall's going for a start, so it'll open my shed up. But anyway, back to thy job. Gotta make this hole bigger, so I'll get it in a central location between the 3 holes for the fan motor. It's going to be pretty close to the edge. So, as long as I can get the fan in, because it's the base, which is the the bottom part of the fan, which is the worst. So I have to get it as close to this side screw as possible, because I don't want to take too much out of this side. So let's trace around there. Yeah, it's not good enough.
This is a journey into Chad Custom.
This is a journey.
So that's it. It's now in. Now the fun part begins of trying to get it back in the actual car, whether it's going to fit, but there we have it. I highly recommend doing this with the dash out, and when if you take the fan shroud out, perhaps leave that plastic tube on, because I'm having quite a hard time getting it back into position. So I was wondering why it wasn't blowing out of the vents. The main plug for the fan is wired the opposite way to the factory, so just for now I've used these shitty bloody connectors. That's just temporary because as soon as I finish Pontiac, this one's getting torn to pieces for a full restoration as well, and I'm going to rewire the whole car. But as you can see, it's blowing. You can actually feel it. Hang on, it's not quite right. You can actually feel it coming out now, and it was pretty dismal before. Let me put it on the defrost. Yep. So that's not a bad upgrade. So the verdict would be, if I was going to do it again, I'd pull the dash out, because the amount of time I wasted trying to get screws and nuts and bolts in and out in tight spaces, and all the venting tubes, I could have had the dash out twice. So if you're going to do it, make it easier, pull the dash out. For the effort, I've got a bit more fan speed now. It's still not running at full speed. If I put 12 volts straight to the fan motor, it actually goes faster. I'm not sure whether that's just the way the switches are set up, but I'm going to pull it all apart in the future and rewire it anyway, so I will find out. Yeah, I hope that is informative for anyone who wants to do this modification to their S30. A couple of little pitfalls, but that's it. It's done. Now I'm going to enjoy my air conditioning. Good.
This is a journey into Chad Custom.
This is a journey into Chad Custom.